go. Here we are. Hello, chat, if anybody's there. Music, of course.
Music?
We're a little bit late because we enjoyed some wondrous and extremely cute marriage videos.
Adorable.
Super adorable. So we're gonna blaze ahead to save on time. So, guys, anything you wanna say to the stream before we start?
Enjoy the stream.
Yeah, enjoy!
Enjoy it!
And also enjoy Sundays. Fuckers.
And happy
not
birthday,
curse.
Bexxy.
Thank you. For Salone. Corruption of Salone. Thank you so much, Emil. It was so nice playing war games with you. Hope you're still doing good. 50 months! Holy shit! Thank you so much for the Prime.
Fucking hell.
For being your Prime option. Yeah, okay. In that vein, remember to follow, subscribe, use your Amazon Prime, join the Cool Kids in Discord, all if you wanna, but helps to support my various subscriptions. There are many. Right, guys. Where we
To the trailer.
To the trailer.
trailer. And welcome to another episode of Curse of Money Mystery. Tonight we're playing the module Curse Astrad, but it's been changed, transformed, and we're playing in the systematic setting of Frostmark RPG, everything created by moi. There's a content warning for tonight of bad language, heavy topics, gothic horror, and definitely some gore, considering what we're doing right now. But with me, I have a wonderful cast of players. I have Lady Lyria, our half-elven magus, played by Jules. Hello, welcome.
Hello.
Hamartia, our changeling warlock, played by Cookie Man. Hello, welcome.
Hello, do you think that if we put the body parts in separate boxes, will they ever be able to regain themselves?
I'm excited to find out. Nyx, our changeling warlock. No, sorry. Our tiefling. Tiefling.
Secretly, what the fuck?
I've never fucked this
You're
up
outing
until
me.
now. Until now.
Out of the closet.
Playing secretly as a changing warlock this whole time.
Played by Adriano. And he's a bard. Hello, welcome.
Hello there.
Certainly not least, Sir Jibcos, our undead paladin, played by Wee. Hello, welcome.
Please do not Frankenstein, my friends.
We shall find out, eh? What happened last time, gang? It's a short one, but a good one.
Well, I said I would take this, and I was definitely here for it, and not buried in, I want to say it was accounting.
But you made it, huh?
Yeah!
Yeah!
I don't know if I passed accounting yet. There's a chance I haven't, because it was one
Oh.
of those things where, like, you know when you study one thing really hard because you're, like, certain that it's gonna be on the test?
Yeah.
And then it's not?
Yeah. Been there yesterday?
Yeah.
But the other stuff, you did. Yeah!
I did pass math, I did pass business.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. So, with that triumphant return, what happened last time?
We return to Team Trauma, beholding Erwin's hanging corpse. Illyria vibrates in anger and questions what went wrong. Jivkos attempts to investigate the cause of death, but comes up empty-handed. After a few choice words of farewell, you bury his body underneath a tree. As you carry on, Jivkos claims the opportunity to get his bearings of the recent timeline of y'all's hijinks in Barovia. The undead Minotaur gets a long-needed hug after Nyx learns of his loneliness, as well as a promise to catch him up on what Team Trauma has been up to. I mean, yeah, I guess it was pretty lonely in that tree. Jivkos assures Nyx that, for now, leaving the Raven Totem was the right choice. In turn, Jivkos questions the actions of his order leading up to their demise. Perhaps not taking a stand in the war allowed all of this to happen. Once again, you agree it's paramount to visit the temple in the mountains. Hamardia sights into the DMs and asks why people aren't ganging up on Strahd and the Curse. Jivkos' sentiment is that they need to show new ways and hope to those they meet, whilst Nyx wants to target the predators to keep the people down. If the Vistani aren't ready to listen yet, the next step is to deal with the village, and then Baba Lysaga to hopefully help Argynvostian knights after that. Bringing your thoughts to the village, Nyx helps to break down people of import and the party's history with them. You agree to spank both Cantamir's and Victor's asses. Try to find Ismark and be careful around Lydia. Jivkos works on his soft voice. What is Jivkos' soft voice?
I'm still
You
figuring
don't
that
want
out.
to know.
Can we have an audio sample on that one, please?
No!
He's already in.
Your rest is uninterrupted and calm, but as you break camp, 4 figures await you on the road. The party recognizes 3 revenants that have attacked the party at 2 separate points, and Jivkos is pained to see his childhood friend, Serkala, and in broken language she demands Jivkos to return to her side. The two try to converse for a while, but when Sir Luba sees Illyria's Sunsword, the revenants charge into combat, proclaiming its danger.
Yes, indeed.
Big sad.
I think I made clear, or definitely me, not Cookie made clear how dangerous that thing is.
Oh, yeah, that was very dangerous.
I mean, the fact that you did probably your highest amount of damage. Yeah.
Actually, probably the highest amount of turn damage we've had so far.
Yeah, right. How much?
It was at least 83 or something in one turn.
You know what? Maybe I should have to study more often.
No, please no.
We need you here, please. But it was impressive. Your catership is impressive. Okay. Spells crackle, weapons clash, blood, fresh and long dead, paint the muddy ground. And Team Trauma, you flex your leveled up muscles. Ugh. And now only 2 mangled revenants remain. But the backdrop to this quick, dangerous, but ultimately intermediate combat for Team Trauma is the gritted teeth, shaking hands, and reeling mind of our new friend Jivkos, who is forced to cut down his best friend. Fortunately, or unfortunately, Jivkos knows she won't ultimately die from this treatment, but it cuts deep in his unbeating heart still. This is wrong. That she's forced to do this. That her undead body will mend over time. All a stark reminder of the curse's impact on these lands. A curse that Jivkos has narrowly avoided for now. He's so darn lucky to be able to be here in this moment. But right now, he feels the opposite. And misery claims her bittersweet kiss once more. For the rest of you, what is in the forefront of your minds is finishing the job. So, Illyria, top of the round, what would you like to do?
Oh, we're still fighting. Okay.
Yes.
There's currently these 2 alive.
Yes. Both of them are hurt.
Well.
It's clear that Jivkos is having some high emotions with the black-scaled lizard folk that stands in front of him. And then you have Sir Luckian down there, who you took the necklace from, who tracked Asphoda down, and then met you at Argynvost. Argynvost.
Okay,
By the
and
dragon
what,
statue.
like...
And he's like locked onto Irius, who is like running away from him.
Oh, for fuck's sake. She's gonna, she's still hasted, right?
Yes.
Yes.
She's gonna kind of like rush over to this guy because leave the wizard alone.
Squishy, leave him alone.
I might need some help.
She kind of passes Jif, cause she kind of like just give like a please keep it together, and
He is shaking right now.
look,
More
that's all I
vibrating.
can do.
All right, you dash over there.
And she's gonna hit him twice.
Yeah, hit twice! The deadliest
Yeah.
move in existence!
So you
But that fucking sunsword it is.
kind of glance towards you. He's like he's trying to like break his concentration of Irius, and you see like he has to fight between his will to pursue his prey and needing to defend himself. And it should be an easy choice, but it is not. Do your worst.
My worst isn't very good, it seems.
Your worst is still good enough because he's so focused on Irius that he's slow to defend himself. Both of them hit.
Oh, okay.
He raises his bastard sword, his trusty bastard sword that's been with us this whole time. But there is this hint of training where you could see like this. Once upon a time, a very robust swordsmanship, but it's just so slow and absent-minded.
Yeah, okay. So, wait, let me just...
Also, his
You
armor
do a
isn't
lot of
that good,
damage,
like,
by the way.
It's falling apart. His armor is also falling apart, so that also helps. Doesn't help.
Yeah.
You have...
are they...
Yes.
They are undead.
Mm-hmm.
So I have the extra d8.
Yes.
Yeah?
From their very dead look, they're pretty much undead.
I just like to confirm.
I know. I'm just fucking with you.
So she is using a shield, so that's just a +5. No, that's still a +7, right? Because shield, yeah.
Alright.
Yummy.
So that's
Yummy
15
indeed.
in radiant damage.
The lightsaber, the sun sword cuts clean
Yeah.
through Luckian's kind of middle section, like leaving these holes, and you can see this like black ichor like falling, the skin trying to mend itself, but it's like burned and it's like struggling against the radioactive damage that you deal. So he can't really find purchase, not yet, and there's just this slight grunt of pain, and he's still staring at Darius. And it's odd. It feels wrong. It's weird.
Nyx, I'm counting on you, but that's my turn.
Well, Nyx, you've been untouched back there in the back line, always having other people do the hard job for you. So, what do you want to do?
Excuse me?
Lazy prick.
Nyx keeps everyone alive. Speaking of such, he will look to Irius and see that the Revenant has got his eyes fixed on him and say like, okay, time for combat maneuvers. Everybody scatter! As he does his protective pump.
Nice.
Yeah, let's go!
For 10 temporary hit points and half your movement, and I think Irius will back it up.
Yo.
I'm not.
And for my action, I will simply contribute to the sparkles by casting Sacred Flame at Senor Revenant.
Suddenly Spanish. Dex
Maybe.
save.
Oh,
Oh, that's plus another D8, I think.
That's a 14, so it's a fail. He gets clipped in the shoulder by a rain of glitter from above.
so glitter.
He's
Is the
looking
radiant
very
damage
hurt.
enhanced?
He's not vulnerable, but there are other effects.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I will stay put.
Cool. And Sir Luckian here is very structurally unsafe right now, but still, like, there's no look on his face of pain or care. Okay, Harmonia. You're
Yes.
still fighting with him.
Hamadia seems a little bit frightened, a little bit drained from the previous spell. She's way up with the Rusty Moth Mount. She will look at Ajivka's former friend in a bit of a disgust, and she will say, "Oh wait, she knows that psychic won't work. So she's going to send 2 wind blasts at him. Is it 2 or is it 3 by now? Considering level 9.
It's 2. 3 is like level 12 or 11 or something.
11.
Yeah. So
It's like 5 and then every 6 levels after
Okay, I see.
It's sad. I know you wanted to, but
Wind blasts. That's 14 to hit.
yes. And you're hitting the one you're scared of, or Kala below you. You're shooting down, or you're shooting to the side.
Shooting down, I mean, like
Okay.
bombarding, like dropping airballs.
Yeah, despite like being paranoid behind your back, and it's like hard to focus, sweat in your forehead. But one of them hits.
So that's 2 points of force damage. And seeing that Leah is pretty much tangled up in this sort of mess, she will use healing word on her for first level. So that's a D4 plus 5.
Oh,
Oh.
Appreciated.
That's a 6, but because I have my golden butterfly, it's going to be plus 8. I think I'll need to check it in a second. To check it in the playing Frostmark, the Frostmark player's handbook, actually.
oh yeah. Sorry.
Because
but
we
I
can't
still haven't
see the
fixed
wiki,
it.
can we?
Yeah.
I believe it's your level. The heal.
It's my total level, so it's actually plus 9. So everyone gets 9 hit points as well.
Everyone.
In the aura.
Everyone in the aura, yeah.
What's the aura? I'm super close now enough.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah.
You see the golden butterfly? You see the 6 meter
No,
aura?
maybe they don't.
We don't see the aura, but 6 meters you can measure, I guess. You get a
Six
little,
slightly out of it.
4 points of healing. It's very nice.
Yes, so I'm gonna do a soul check.
There you go.
Soul is a good, and speaking of soul,
Haha.
we'll go on a bombing run, go. "Ew," and this fucker, he needs to make a DV14 dex save.
Alrighto.
What's it
Critical
like?
20.
Okay, so it's fine. He dodges the fire. That's my turn.
For some reason, he has eyes in the back of his head just for you. Or just for Soul, I guess. Okay.
And I'm still up 6 meters by the end of all
Yes,
this.
yes. I did figure. Flyers.
You get me the stuff.
Yeah, that was a mistake.
Illyria, give me a resolve saving throw.
Oh no, you're not within my aura. Yeah.
14.
14! You're paralyzed.
Oh, come on. Okay.
The eyes of Luckian finally kind of meets you, and they shine fiercely, and you just feel this ghostly hand come up from your spine and kind of grasp your neck, and you're just stuck in place for a moment. There's just panic in your system. You can't move. And it is kind of this look of like, what is this thing? I can't get rid of it. Ugh! Freeze! But he won't be able to reach that away. So he's gonna trail that way and take a swing at Nyx as he goes, still pursuing Urias.
Making his way downtown.
Yes.
Walking fast.
Making way downtown.
That's a 9. He's
that's
just
a
staring
sad
at
9.
Urias, and it's just like a big swing. It's easy for you to you feel it almost like a little bit hurt, like offended that it was so easy.
I am your opponent too.
He doesn't like
And you just
pay
tried to just
attention
backhand you.
Yeah. And you can actually hear him mutter as he comes close. This time around, please let me keep my necklace. Urias.
Oh, you want me to keep doing areas?
If you don't want to, I can take over.
No, that's fine. I
I think he's just gonna
HQ
jump
Benny.
behind the stone and go pew pew for spaz.
yeah, probably with his the amount of souls he has. I think he's gonna still like try and keep a distance if he's still trying to be like, so I think he will skitter around here, or something like this. And as he like dives out from behind the rock, he will do a combat roll with like pew pew, the force blast.
Hey, yeah.
Eldritch Blast.
I've been in war. Know how to do combat roll.
Indeed. I can't roll direct from his sheet, so
Yes,
his mod is 8.
Welcome to my
Indeed.
world.
First attack is a 15, second is a 16.
Both of them hit.
Take 9 points of force damage.
Ooh. Okay. There's nothing left of Luckian's whole like left arm, and the limb kind of tears off and kind of slumps to the ground, and most of his torso is gone, and it's like almost hard for him to stand, but he still does.
Jesus.
And because of the still like burning parts of the flesh affected by the sun sword, his flesh does not mend.
Yay.
Alright, back to Kala. We're mindlessly just gonna go ham. If I could recklessly attack, I would.
You can gently attack.
Yeah, please.
12 and 10! I rolled a
Both
5 and a
of-
3!
Both of them just don't penetrate his like half-broken armor.
Maybe there's like a little glint in Kala's eyes where just there's strain and concentration on her face. Just behind it, behind the madness. Jibkas.
Still like shaking as he grips his maul, and this black tar-like substance beginning to seep out of his tear ducts. He is going to go again for another 2 hits against her.
Metal. Yes.
Metal, bro.
Go for it.
The 12 and a 9.
That makes sense.
The last one is just so exasperated. Even though he doesn't get tired, this mental strain is just weighing on him so hard that the last is barely even an attempt at hitting her.
And as you kinda exchange blows that just bounce off each other's guards and armor, you get this flash of a memory of sparring when you were younger in the courtyard of Ardenwasselt. Lyria, back to you. You're paralyzed. That's it. Back to Nyx.
Yeah. Question.
I think
Yes.
almost everyone's been
My
paralyzed.
hate.
Oh.
We did it before, I think, and Hamartia kept a concentration, I think. Or is it?
Yeah,
Nick?
paralysis
Yeah.
doesn't
Yeah.
remove your concentration.
It just removes
Yeah,
your
okay.
ability to do like
Okay,
actions,
okay.
reactions, bonus actions. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
That makes sense.
fine.
Okay.
Okay. Nyx will face him down and say, as he like has his attention continuously on Irius, and say like, what am I, chopped liver? And he will sacred flame him.
Is what kills him.
18. Oh my
Dang.
god. He hangs on.
He hangs on.
He hangs on still.
Hanging on by a thread, literally.
This
Should
time he
like-
kind of stumbles to the side as he's about to lose balance and like just fall apart, but instead he just ends up like dodging the radiant blast from above.
It's my failed attack. Okay, I was just looking at my blessed action, but it's my attack. Okay. And for bonus action,
Yes.
so his movement will be. No, he will stay there. It's fine. I think that'll be it. He doesn't need to move right now.
Okay, Hamartia, back to you. Oh, you you needed to do a soul save at the end of your last turn, actually.
Oh,
I forgot.
really?
Let's do that now.
Okay.
Yeah, because you're still saving against the frightened effect. You just sadly haven't.
20.
Yeah.
Okay, you start
Also
your
the plus
turn.
3 anyway.
You start your
As you know, you're
turn
higher.
not frightened.
Okay, Amatia, not frightened, is kind of pissed at this guy scaring her all this time, and she had. And she is going to do a beeline towards him with soul and go, "Hey, mate! You think paralyze me? It's funny. It's not funny. I'm going to jump you." And first soul will do his second flame
Okay.
and the one gun.
Alright, let's roll.
And Hamatia will jump mid-flight from Soul with a knife and try to shank the shit out of him.
17 on the dex save. He still
17.
stumbles and managed to dodge, I guess.
Okay, and so now it's a regular target attack. 19 to hit.
Yes!
6 points of magical piercing damage plus 3 for the how is it called? Sneak attack.
How do you wanna do this?
She goes straight to the jugular and she just drives it in really hard and basically mounts him as she is down, and she just starts to slice and dice and chop his hands and like throw them away so that he won't degenerate. And just like running a butcher's shop.
A gory hell, like you get covered by this rain of just black blood, half coagulated, for sure. And Sir Lucian kind of like lies in the mud. He's just given up at this point, and you can hear him just sigh softly to himself. If only it could be final.
I'll make it final, alright? Wow, Soul is back. And that's my turn.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Alright, okay, back to Arius. You've been saved, princess.
I guess from Iris's perspective, knowing that there is an emotional duel happening here between Chivkos and
Carla.
Carla, thank you. He's gonna chain lightning. No.
Chain lightning, Chivkos, and Carla.
I think
Doesn't
that
really have
Arius
much.
would move up a bit, and I think he's gonna hold his action to force blast.
Yeah, I move into the aura, I think.
Yeah. He has 5 movement, so did he make it there? He's
One,
a little
2, 3,
dwarf
4.
with
Oh,
his dwarfy legs.
so close. And yeah,
Uh,
hold action sounds good.
Yeah, and call out to the Jivkos. On your mark! Okay, again. Kala mirrors Jivkos with this strange, like, black liquid pouring up at the edge of her eyes. And her great sword rings through the air for a 12 to hit, but
No.
then a 23.
That does it.
Okay. Indeed. 14 points of slashing damage as she finally finds some kind of purchase in your armor and pierce through your furry hide to spill blood that looks exactly like hers. Okay.
Oh.
And her flesh mends before your eyes. As probably does yours.
Yeah.
Because, back to your turn.
Same old, same again. He's overcome by emotion, but he does manage to hear Arius and just go in such an exasperated and tired voice. Do it.
Okay, do your things first.
Right.
Unless you move, Arius is going to be rolling it with. It's going to be a higher AV for Kala since you're standing in the way.
We'll see how the hits go first.
Okay.
Oh, 23 and a 24.
Okay. Stealing
And-
your conviction.
Yeah, in the last one, he is going to put a 3rd level smite into it.
Oh shit!
Okay.
And it is going to be guided by Boreas himself.
The Warhammer descends with a thunderous boom.
First one is max damage.
Oh,
And then the next one is 29. As almost guided by Boreas himself, as he cannot do it. And he just steers his conviction into his tenets and his beliefs. We'll strike her.
Damn! Yeah, the blow echoes through, the whole valley, the road here, this meadow, and she has to take a quick step back. She's reeling from that impact because you deal extra magical bludgeoning damage, right?
Only against, I think, Fae and another thing, not undead.
Ah no, but your smite type of damage is magical bludgeoning, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, yes indeed. And
sorry.
you feel like several rib bones crack underneath your blow, and she looks very hurt, but she still stands.
I don't think with that he's gonna move. Yeah.
Yay! Pew pew with higher AV.
okay.
With a chance, if it goes poorly, to hit.
That one.
Okay, roll to a 19. Roll to hit again one more time. 15. What is Jivko's AV?
18.
Oh, okay. It bounces off Jivko's armor, thankfully. But the 19 is still enough to find a space between an arm to deal 5 points of damage. Okay. Illyria, you're out of the paralyzation, and the object of the frighten is dead and gone. So you jump over that step, and you're back, baby.
Okay, and did Jiff Cosmioto? I just spoke German there. I need to go to bed. Jifkas basically gave the okay to like help him out, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he said do it.
So she's just gonna run over and
Flank.
flank
Bastion.
with Jifkas, trying to
And
end this.
both of them hit.
Wait, I have a third attack. I have haste.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, never mind.
Well, I mean, I don't think let's roll
You
some
needed
damage.
it.
The third one's just like, stop it. She's already dead.
It might be. Let's find out.
Do you need the damage separately, or can I add it up?
You can add it up.
Okay, it's 48 plus 7 times 2 is 14.
Yes, 48 plus 17. 14. 48 plus
Wait, no, that's that's not how that works.
Almost. Getting there.
Hold on.
Hold up a minute. 29.
29 radiant damage.
Yeah. She falls before you can do the third attack. How do you want to do this?
Oh shit!
How does Illyria?
Oh god.
Yeah.
I think she just kind of like runs up at like this like, very fast like supernatural speed, and just with like a big, powerful like kind of like cut across the back of her, just sends her like to the floor, and for now not getting up, and just kind of looks at Jifkas, more concerned about him and what that might do to him than what just happened.
Yeah. And Kala kind of falls with a sigh and like a black, blood-teared, frustrated look, and she managed to squeal out a pretty angry why before the light in her eyes go out.
As she falls, can Yevkos drop his maul and catch her?
Oh, of course.
And he will have just sort of fallen onto his knees and just wrapping his arms around her now no longer moving body, and just say, "I'm sorry."
There's a silent moment where everybody kind of slowly wipe the sweat from their foreheads, relax their stance, and come closer to hover around Jivkos.
He's just clutching her as tight as he can.
What are we supposed to do with him? How do we get him off our tail? How long do we have until we recover?
You have one day.
Can we prolong it somehow if we separate the bodies or something?
Martia, have a little compassion. Clearly, Chief Cause really likes that one that just went down.
I understand, and time to grieve will come. But right now, we need to move. We don't
Am
know
I not
what we
allowed to
don't-
have a moment in the 500 years that I have had
Marcia,
here?
leave him a moment. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No. My apologies. I got a little bit panicky.
They are not going to arise. They are dead for the next day. Now let me have some time.
Yeah, Matya, stay silent.
He's just going to stay like that for probably 5 minutes if he is able to.
In the meantime, Arius is like gently wandering around, inspecting the limbs and body parts of the ripped apart Lucian. Comes up
Yeah,
to
next would do
Nick's
that.
aside.
Next would also call over Hamatio, and she like just like, come over here. There's maybe things on this guy's body that we can take.
Okay, is it like I don't know. I don't want to piss Jifka's off more. You know,
No, I mean, I think he's just really interested in that one. He hasn't said who that is yet, but the fact that let's leave him there, and we have souls to claim, if possible.
Oh, we have souls. Okay. Sure. Was this guy a dick? He feels like kind of a dick. Was he a dick?
I think why he went after me is I met him on the road with the others. With Joseph and Aurora and everybody, and he was just mindlessly attacked. It was a bit of a shock to see him standing and walking, but knowing now Jivkos, another piece of the puzzle makes sense. I mean, you can try to reach him there, but last time when we defeated this guy, there was nothing to claim.
I mean, something must be keeping this guy from coming up. I mean, it must be obviously some form of curse, just the same as Chief Ghost, but it must be something on him at least. If not a soul, we can at least make it harder for him to track us down after he regenerates. I mean, even if we burn his body, have you tried this?
I only met him once. I didn't know that. I didn't know what it was before Jibkos and before seeing it again.
Maybe we can take a closer look together, Irius, about whether or not we can identify some sort of source of this regeneration and a means to slow it down, perhaps.
Yes, maybe together. You are frustratingly good at this for probably very few years of study. Let's do it.
Natural talent is rare, I get it.
Yeah, I know. I was slow. I needed time. It's okay. I've grown into my own. It just took.
We'll take a look at the bodies and see if we can like identify some form of method with like magic or something to.
Do you want
Slow.
to assist with any spells?
I think he probably is more depth if it's more of like an occult medicine kind of thing. Nyx will certainly assist with searing with like sacred flame or whatever as like form of a nurse to his doctor. Scalpel?
Sure. Arius already used his detect magic for. No, you long rested.
Nyx
Yes,
can
you
do
long
detect
rest.
magic anyway.
Oh,
Nyx can do
Okay.
ritual detect magic, so
okay. How many ranks do you have in medicine? 1 or 2? 3?
I'm a jack of all trades, but I don't have a specific rank in medicine.
Okay. Then you will assist Arius for the medicine roll, and he will wait for you to finish your detect magic.
Okay. That'll be 10 minutes.
Yeah, and Jim Cost needs some time to be anyway.
Amatia, why don't you see if there's anything else on the others?
Yes,
need
it's better
some-
to take the stuff. Maybe it will settle down a little bit.
Tie their shoelaces together or something.
Yes. Matia will actually try her best to do it as inconvenient as possible to come back from the dead. She's going to strip them almost bare of weapons and armor, and probably put it in the bag.
Yeah. The armor that the guys are wearing have now been further sundered by your various attacks, and their efficacy might have become even lower than it used to be. But you could definitely take the tatters of armor that they have on, and the greenish lady who saw the sun sword has a great sword. Rusty, but still usable. Solakin over here has a Bassa sword of the still nature. Sir Anatoly over here has 2 short swords. And if Jibkos allows for Kala's weapons to be taken, she has both a Bassa sword, a broadsword, and a great sword. 2 swords.
Matia will not touch her corpse yet. Give Jivkos the time to grieve. And she'll continue to try and make the coming for the dead disappear. She'll probably use a little bit of rope to tie their hands and feet together, those who are not separated. Just so to make it a little bit more of a chore to come back.
Sure, for sure. And in the background, behind Jibkos's back, Sol is doing like a totem pole victory dance. Whilst doing like combat rolls on the ground in the bloody bits.
Matia will also say to people, okay, I think maybe if we separate them as well, it will set them back a little bit further. And she'll want to load some corpses on Soul and just fly up and try and scatter them in like a 3-kilometer direction, in a 3-kilometer radius.
Sure.
I will scatter their bodies to the 4 winds.
Yeah, just to make it as inconvenient as possible to come back from the dead.
I will deface their bodies with my victory. Boreas will know who won this day.
So that's what Sam will do during this time.
Time passes. Jibkos, I assume that over these 10 minutes you're just still with Kala. Okay. Is there anything that Illyria wants to do?
Not particularly.
Just watch Jibkos and make sure that he's alright.
Yeah, just make sure Jivko's okay.
Okay. Alright, Nyx. Your detect magic goes off. Make me also, with the knowledge that you get through the detect magic, a occult intelligence to understand what you're seeing.
Can I guide myself on this roll?
Aren't you concentrating on the ritual as it happens?
Well, you say like after the ritual goes off.
Ah,
You want me
okay,
to understand the.
Fine.
I mean, it's your call.
Fine.
Like
will-
I look at it and say like.
It's gonna be hard anyway,
This-
so.
Ah, okay. 16.
16. What you note, together with Arius, is that over time, very, very slowly, from the biggest chunk that remains of Sir Lucian, it starts to regenerate on its own, but the speed of it in comparison to what you saw in the midst of combat is several magnitudes slower. Iris was also able to point out that the wounds that Lucian got from the radiant sources in particular is even slower to begin the healing process.
Do you think
16. Oh.
if we can put something inside his body whilst he regenerates? Would he know? Do you think?
If we had a continuous source of area of effect, it doesn't matter how much, but just continuously dealing, emitting energy of the radiant kind, we might be able to prevent the regenerative process as long as that object is in contact with the main body. But you've surprised me many times, Nix, and impressed me. Maybe you have this up your sleeve?
I'm not sure. It has been luck of the draw, but and he once again goes into his bag and produces out of it a smaller bag. You're going to have to pick it out, though.
What?
Well, we got this a long time ago, and each time we pulled something out, that something weird happened. I got a ring that is turned out to be quite beneficial.
Just dragging from your scrap bag. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you were saying that this bag is able to perhaps produce the kind of item we're looking for?
Look, I don't know exactly, but if you feel the bag, it feels like something in it. When you look in it, you can't really see. It's like a mystery bag.
Mm-hmm. Faintly heard of these kind of things, but isn't this also somewhat risky?
Everything's risky. I don't have anything that emits anything, but I know that this bag contains various things that potentially could. Well, I don't know the extent of this, but it's the only thing I can think of that could potentially produce something.
Okay. It was a very long time I pulled this up.
Fucking
Very long time ago. Shit. Okay. So,
Full of fun mini curses.
So I will secretly first roll a d20. Not 120 though. Okay. Okay, and then Arius will roll. Okay. Arius puts his hand down, he like jiggles it around a little bit, just kind of like a little bit of his tongue comes out of his lips, to touch his lips, like as he moves around, and he kind of closes his eyes and pulls something out, and in his hand is a little whitish yellowish dye. Very small, like on the smaller side, and looking at it after a while is quite obvious. Like it's made out of bone, but of what? You're not entirely sure. There's 2 6s on the 6-sided die instead of a 2. There's two 6s, but the one is exchanged with a laughing skull. And Arius kind of looks at it for a while and says, I think I feel a bit luckier.
Well, you are a lucky kind of chap.
I don't know what to say. I don't think this is what we're looking for, sadly.
Dang. The only other thing, it won't. I don't recall it emitting any damage. But it was linked to. No, it's linked to the feeder of mana doorway, the shield, the gemstone, Meulen's gem.
Oh, the keystones, or
It's the one that allows the shield, the protective shield that guards the treasure, to be unlocked.
oh no, it's only like a special lock.
Mm-mm.
Arius gained the ability to crit on a 19 to 20.
What the fuck? That's insane!
But,
Holy shit!
but
Oh, it's a
something-
curse.
But something extra awful happens on a critical one.
Oh, that sounds fun as
But he has a
fuck.
luck stone, so it could mitigate that.
Oh, that just sounds funny.
Damn. That's why he was so much sure. Am I more lucky? Okay.
Feel more lucky, but
Okay. With the 16, there's strong vismancy, of course, aura around the body, both of the darker side of vismancy, but also what people would consider to be the good, like the healing part of vismancy. And you sense with detect magic, you do sense the presence of a soul wrapped in this vismancy, but for some reason, when you reach out for it, it is impossible for you to coax it to your soul mark.
Or a gem, a soul gem.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you can't interact with it. It's there. It's affected by this vismancy, but you can't reach it. And why? You don't know. Okay. Jigos, around 11-12 minutes have passed at this point. Does anything change?
his grip on Gala will loosen ever so slightly, and he will get up from one knee and then get up from the other, still holding her, and then put it into more of a bridle carry. And he will carry her over to this tree over here.
Yeah.
And then lay her down like on the other side, like sitting with her back against the tree. And using his claw, wipe the clotted and very much decayed black blood from her eyes, close them, making sure they are, and then kiss her atop the head, as she hated him doing every single time. And
It would
And-
usually like result in like this shadow boxing kind of contest between the two of you.
yeah, and just the thought will cause a small chuckle to come, but he will then seek a small Hagenvost prayer and leave her there to come back over. Clearly very much downtrodden and lost in thought as he looks at where the others once were, but now have been moved from. The blood splatters and bits of viscera along the ground, and just what gave them the right to do this to my order?
Them?
Whatever powers that be that cursed them so, even with this unlife that I am now burdened with. Why can we not just stay dead?
I think you know the answer to that, Yuvkos. But you are taking active steps to rectify that, to allow them to rest finally. Put an end to their suffering. Take solace in that.
I shall try. But every move I make, I do in the name of Argenvost, in the name of the Order of the Silver Dragon, and in the name of Boreas. So fell beast that sits upon the throne.
If you don't mind me asking, and if you are prepared to answer, no problem if you can't just yet. Who were they to you? You seem very taken with that one that you just buried.
After sort of not even looking at you guys who was speaking, just looking sort of onwards glazed, he'll turn back towards seeing sort of just the very side of her from the other tree and just... That was Carla. She is not just one of my comrades and one of my fellow High Knights. She is the friend that I've had the longest, and my sister. She's who I came to the Order with, and we both swore into.
So, 500 years or so.
We were inseparable. Even in death. We would never leave the other side. Then I did.
It is sensitive to talk about, I can tell. But I have to ask, have you done this before?
Done what?
Put them in the ground. I mean, you said that they're not going to stay there for very long, right?
A day is
And
all it
then?
shall take. And then they will rise again.
And then you will have to do this all over again. So,
Yes.
have you done this before?
No. You are the first actually good people that I spoke to after being freed of the curse. Before, I was just like them. Mindless, following, and driven to keep Strad suffering by keeping him alive. And in that endeavor, I have taken lives of those alike to you all. Those that might have had a chance to free him, free everyone.
I can understand the emotional attachment, but I think you're going to have to swallow a bitter pill here, Chief Cause, because there's no guarantee that this will be the last time that you have to do what you just did. Unless we figure out a way to prevent them from getting back up.
I do not think there is a way to ever fully keep them down. As I think even if we destroy them to an amount where there is nothing left, they shall just reform.
Jukos, make me a quick intelligence check with advantage.
Okay. 14.
Indeed. Yeah, that's definitely enough. It was an easy TV. Remember the feeling of apprehension of moving into certain territories in Barovia? You've been in the Autumn Grove by Morgantha. Then you went to the Circle, and then you went to Sir Pool. Now you're traveling to the village. So, you probably be protected if you go to those areas of aversion.
Yeah. I believe that there is something within it that prevents us from entering certain places, such as places of towns, hags, the likes.
Consecrated ground, perhaps?
No. I say that as like a question to the GM. Sorry, I don't think so. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's nothing like because obviously just like from the thing of hags on consecrated ground.
No.
Yeah. So
You don't know.
I am unsure about that, but there is a instinctual way of us keeping away, like an animal to a flame. I think in places like that we are safe, but when traveling the open forest and road, we may have more encounters with the little desire I have for them.
And we'll just have to keep our minds open for potential resolutions, should the time come. I'm sorry you had to go through that, Jeff, because that sucks.
Thank you. I still am attempting to deal with it, but with time, it shall hopefully dwindle. I may carry on if we do require to reach the village.
Amatia,
I think I'll just come back right now. Yes?
Hamartia took out
are
a
you
quick
done
break and
looting?
push.
Yes, I have everything over there, and you see a horde of armor and weapons, pretty much.
I guess for the things that we can't wear or really get much money for, I think we just bury them, see if they can find it.
I mean, we can just, get it inside a bag of holding.
True, but there's only so much space in there. I'd rather not clutter it up with garbage. But nevertheless, whatever, it's fine. It's not that big of a bag of holding.
Yeah, but maybe we can make a game out of it, piss them off even more. We can do like the children's game Clue, where you hide something and you leave a little bit of clues for them to find it.
Can we please not make a game out of burying my friends' things?
It's not.
That does seem very disrespectful.
Well, it's not about disrespect. It's about psychological warfare. To be honest, but I get your point.
Please.
I understand the need for brevity after all of this, but I do second the burying of the weapons.
That I can guess, but I do not wish to make a game out of it.
No. We don't want them to actually find it now. No one they awake enough to understand that it is a game. So.
Yeah, no, I want to send them on a wild goose chase. So if we do leave clues, we might go somewhere else.
There is no need to leave clues. We're just trying to save our own asses so the next time that they encounter us, they aren't as well equipped. Despite their slow movement, they were quite...
Of course, you have an interesting ability to... What did we call it again? Destroy door? Does that pertain also to objects?
No, it is only to those that we deem as enemies.
Well, there we have it. Let's quickly do it then. We need to...
May I ask that we do not bury the pendants of my order?
Do you want to keep
So
them?
so they may at least retrieve them.
Fair.
They do not have magic or anything beyond.
Yes, actually, that's probably for the best, because last time we did that, we took a pendant, Asphodel had it, and this guy was just following her for days trying to get it back. I prefer we didn't give them that sort of initiative. So, bury the weapons and the armor, if possible. A shallow bog or some sort of marsh around here should also suffice to save us the time of digging.
Yes, let's get to it.
And Iris kind of goes past and pats Jivkos and gives him the look of been there, done that. I'm gonna try to be the guiding voice this time. You don't, in a short time span, you don't manage to find a bog, but you do find some wetlands where it's easier and perhaps it will sink a little bit. Again, Jivkos just claws, claws of wonder, of grave dirt, claws of grave dirt, helps to do a shallow grave in a 20-30 minutes or so. You wanted this to be pretty deep. and you're far off from the road, like a minute or two into the forest, to not make it obvious. And you throw it all in the hole. You scoot everything over, like put down some leaves, some twigs, like try to make the area look undisturbed, and you return to the road soon afterwards.
Jivgos can, if he will put all of the pendants on Kala's body.
Yeah, sure. You can definitely do that.
And we're on the road again.
All right, to Viridian City. Every time. I just have to. Every time. I'm sorry. All right. Okay. Back with that. Over the course of your first leg of your journey, you clear the somewhat rougher terrain of the southeastern slopes of the greater mountain complex of Gakis, with its rugged hills, steep cliffs, wayward boulders, and tumbling mountain brooks, to descend into the once fertile bowl of eastern Barovia. River Iblis, after rushing down Sear Falls, swirling through the rapids to a pool in Sear Lake, it doesn't stop there. The river has pushed through the forest floor to swell into the valley floor. It broadens here and slows, becoming a lazy, widening scar through it. Further east, in the lowest parts of this bowl, it snakes, twists, and broadens further, spawning a myriad of offshoots, creating a messy and not stagnant for long mosaic of wetlands and river strands. It's from there that the village of Barovia, in its far more prosperous infancy, dug canals to divert a massive amount of mountain waters to sustain vast acres of graze and farmland. In fact, the village is so scattered that you think the place smaller if you only traveled through the northern village center. But a greater number of homesteads dotted the landscape from the village center in the north to the river's banks for about 4 hours to the south, and then some distance both east and west from that line. Some sat in hamlet clusters, others isolated by hectares of farmland. And of course, after half of millennia of this curse of war, decay, and death, it is impossible to know how many homes still stand and how many Barovians yet live out there. Jibko's pictures of burning fields and farmhouses appear as scenery to flickering and harsh disconnected fragments of memories of violence, which all share the common thread of blood in your rotting fur, dripping from your face, and painting your weapon in those early rebellions of the court. You've been in the farmlands quite a lot in the early days of your curse down there. All right. You have about 2 hours or so of a travel time until the next point of interest in this kind of landscape. Should we push ahead?
Jivkos will just take a second to stop and look at the sort of flickering images around him, and just carry straight back on after it's sort of shaking it off.
Fair.
Hamati, I would like to approach Jivkos.
Of course.
She'll slowly almost stalk Jivkos. Yeah. Just closing the distance bit by bit. You probably notice it. At one point, it takes like a few minutes. And she'll eventually give you a little tap on your lower back.
He seems to not have noticed you at all, just being deep in thought, but he turns to look at you and just goes, "Oh, Amartya, how are you?"
Oh, I'm good. I wanted to apologize. I understand that I have disrespected someone, but you held dear or hold dear, and that was wrong of me, and I'm sorry.
I thank you for your apology, but it is fine. It is not something I have ever had to do, and I hope never to do it again. But it was hard, and I thank you all for helping in it.
Yes, I just thought you would be like, I'm somewhat acquainted with killing loved ones, and the only difference is your loved ones you actually love, which I find commendable.
Well, my loved ones are quite a bit different to yours. I'm sorry to say that I am actually surprised that you call them loved ones.
Well, we were like family, and they were terrible people. My feelings are mixed, to say the least. There is hate, but love is to this twisted sort of. Yes, people think that love and hate are two exclusive traits, but I find that you have a lot of hate in what you love, and some sort of love maybe involved in what you hate. But that's not the point. I'm just philosophizing.
Do not worry.
I just want to say that if you need something, if you wish to talk about something, you wish to let out your anger a little bit, you need some target practice, you need, I don't know what to help you feel better.
I think some contemplation and time is all I will require. I am not one to vent my anger physically. Though I thank you for the respect and offer.
Well, if you do need something, I'm still here. I'll let you do the other thing. My mother will not give you a full hug, but she will lay your head on probably your side, just for a second or two, and then slowly drop back in line.
Yeah. Jivkos will just give her sort of like a side one-armed hug.
Second hug.
Yay. That's 2 hugs at the last 500 years.
All right. Well, anything else?
A question.
Mm-hmm.
In this 2-hour journey, obviously, there's walking involved. Is it possible
Yes.
to attune to things during that time?
Light activity. Yeah, I mean, as long as you're not, I mean, you basically you give up being able to do perception checks and or steer
Everyone
the
else
way.
is walking. So,
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So
it's
you,
a road
you check
we're
out
walking
for
on, so
for a moment. So yeah, sure. If you're just walking in a normal speed, that's light activity. Yeah, for sure. If you check out mentally, you can do it.
So as Nyx was fishing out the bag earlier for Irius, he noticed that there was something else in the bag that caught his eye that seemed to be just sitting there for a while. And given how things are going, we need all the help that we can get, especially as we go into Barovia. And the thing that sticks in the back of his mind is the last real image that he saw after leaving Barovia, which was the tavern on fire.
Mm-hmm.
And he plays back the memory of hearing the crackling flames, and he's shouting for Alenka.
Alenka, for sure.
And the heart of the Weaver stands out to him as something that could potentially make sure that whatever happened last time cannot happen again, knowing that he identified it. So he will bring out the heart of the Weaver from the bag and hold it in his hands.
Damn. As long as you have it in your hands and try to connect to it, there's this gentle lapping of waves, of not an ocean, but more like a pond or a still river. It's not salt that hits your tongue, but the smell of wet earth after a rainstorm. And at this point, it's quite a loving kind of sensation of connection, of calm and clarity. Okay. Do you remove an attunement from something else?
No, I have a free slot since Jivkos
Nice.
has the Hat of Disguise.
Oh, yay!
Yeah. And he is currently attuned to that and the spear.
Gotcha. For a moment there, I looked at the earring and I was a bit worried. But I get you. That makes sense. All right. Okay. Well, you know what? Before we get to the next point of interest, looking at time, let's go for a quick break.
Quick break. Get that chalky milk, Jules.
I'm
Do it.
not feeling like chocolate milk. Honestly, I'm not feeling good at all right now.
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you want to continue?
Yeah, I don't wanna just drop out mid-session. I'm gonna go grab some ibuprofen.
Perfect.
So,
Do that. But
maybe
it's
if
okay to
we-
take
I
a
don't
bit
know.
slow. But I won't go like a 4-hour one today, okay?
Yeah, how much longer are we gonna go?
An hour and a half?
Yeah, I can do that.
Perfect. Okay.
Yay.
But it's also why I've been so quiet. But I'm here.
Perfect.
Yay.
I will go and refill my glass and I'll be right back. Right. There we are. Ooh, 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 back to the village.
I have returned.
Welcome back.
Do you mean that?
Yeah, of course.
No, you're not welcome here.
I knew it!
Yeah. Also, holy shit, Harlow Weaver can cast. I can't speak. What the fuck? Can cast Wall of Water.
Yeah, once a day.
It's good though.
Hello.
It powered Winter Splinter. What can I say?
Yeah.
Yeah, if it's a big fucking item, it's a big fucking item.
Yeah.
Half a kilo. So actually, it's not that big. Yeah.
I mean, it is
It's
a
like
big
fist
arc.
size, you know.
Yeah, that's not that big.
I had half a mind to just like, let's put the heart of the Weaver inside Lycian.
I feel like you're making some like revenant
Whoa.
elemental hybrid
Jesus Christ.
that would be way harder to kill than.
Oh,
Yeah.
Morning Lord, please don't.
Agreed.
I mean,
I'd just be like,
we can change to a Neo campaign. You can definitely do it.
just
I'm here
like,
for it.
if possible, like to like put a command word on it so that you can just shout it and force him to wet himself. The shape water,
Oh.
the inside water.
Well, it seems to react differently when, in other environments, so to speak.
Uh-huh.
Jules, you back? With meds? No, okay. Alright, Yeah. Yeah.
So how's life?
It's good. I love role playing with you guys, so Mondays are always a highlight for me.
Me as well.
I've gotten another drink. Sorry, I was not.
Oh. It's
Was
not
it
that good.
being asked? What I miss?
How's life? Was the question.
Life's good. Sorry, my headphones are disconnected while I went to grab my cider.
Oh, that's fine.
Life's good. Yes, I'm slightly crying, but yeah,
Oh.
in a good way.
Oh.
Yeah.
That was a good role play. Take some inspiration.
Yay! That's the second time I've ever had inspiration.
Well, you haven't been playing so
Alrighty,
long.
I'm
Yeah,
back.
that's right.
Yeah.
Gotta save this for something special.
Perfect. You need it.
Oh, is that a threat?
It's always like that.
You'll need it.
Okay. Okay. So, our party is back to a walk-in. All right. So, to our Seder. The first settlement that heralds the beginning of the greater village of Barovia area is, of course, the mill and bridge hamlet, clustering to the side of the river, the road, and the stone bridge that has yet survived. This is the only location for miles, both east and west, where the river Ivles somewhat tightens to the point you could bother with erecting a bridge. And the one before you is squat, sturdy, long, but unassuming. The houses by the side of the road and the banks of the river were once larger merchant-class homes, and the reason for this wealth can be spied by the various watermill wheels extending from the riverbank homes to steal free labor from the flowing water, as well as the fermentation vats attached to most homesteads by the road. Milling and brewing the produce that poured out of the farmlands to here would have made this area quite affluent in the past. Now, the wheels are broken, the vats crumbled, the homes fading, collapsed, dilapidated. The few Barovians that call this home haunt the shadows and the corners like gaunt specters, thin, wily, dirty, a slight tinge of madness to their eyes, and on the point of starvation. They scatter to hiding places as you walk on by, hungry and endlessly non-blinking gazes that watch you from their shadows as you go on by. All is very quiet. None dare to talk in your presence, not even a whisper. And somewhere off in the distance, a door or a window slams rhythmically in the wind.
We know we're not really welcome here, especially me.
Upon actually seeing other people, can Jivkos put on the hat of disguise and disguise himself?
Yes, yes, he may, of course. What guise do you choose?
What was that?
What guise?
What was that?
Oh,
What
what
guise?
disguise?
Oh, what disguise? Sorry, my internet just shat itself for
Oh,
a moment
shit.
and nothing happened.
It might have been me as well.
But
What
what disguise?
Yeah.
Yevgos will actually, since he doesn't know what else he can take, and the only other people take, other people don't, he'll take the form of him when he was alive. Which is this sort of
Is
stroking.
Discord shitting itself right now? Is it just me? Stream quality is good, so it's Discord. Okay.
It's Discord.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, so
Is
it's
it
not
Discord?
complete.
Oh, yeah, it's back. Okay.
Yeah, I think
this
it's
sounds good.
Discord.
It's
Okay,
for everyone,
Okay.
yeah.
yeah, okay.
So was it just my Wi-Fi or was it Discord?
No, it was Discord.
It was Discord.
I
Okay.
think so.
Okay.
It should be okay now.
Sorry.
Um,
What did you say?
He will actually disguise himself as him when he was alive.
Oh.
Aww.
It's obviously the same height and everything, but it still has quite a lot of the same monstrous looks. But like large teeth jutting out from like an underbiting maw, and sharp, quite large claws. But his fur is no longer a black, blood-stained, rotting. It is a rather brown, fluffy-looking. Hello.
Fluffy cow.
Yeah.
His armor is
Like
no
a Highland
longer.
cow.
Yeah, basically, it's no longer like shut, like fucked up to shit. It looks like normal armor. His emblem shining of the silver dragon pendant, and just none of the scars and cuts that he has lining his entire thing. And his eyes carry a light to them beyond the soul mark. They actually have life, it seems, but smells and everything is the same beyond appearance.
It's a sight.
Nix looks at you, and it says, "I honestly didn't expect such a glorious hairstyle, of course."
This does cause a sort of slight upturn in the sides of his mouth, and he gives a small chuckle. It just... I wish it was still, but I thought that it would not be good to take a form of somebody once dead, and I was unable to think of a new one, so it was myself.
Fair enough. I'm not sure exactly the last time I saw someone of your kind within Barovia village, so you still might get people looking at you oddly, but better
Maybe
than
people will pet
dead.
you.
I think the sight of an undead, of a non-undead, of a living paladin is a lot better of a sight than one rotting. So
No, 100%.
it will give us, yes, still attention, but not the same as the stories of an undead in the city.
Right, and did we practice our softer voice, like the training that we went over, to go with this new and improved shampooed mood?
I may try. Is this a bit better? A small bit.
Oh, that's worse.
How?
No, I don't think I hear a slight difference. I mean, it goes up a little bit at the end.
I'm sorry, there's not as much I can do, as most of the traits of my voice come from the actual form of my windpipe.
I mean, I think it's sounding higher sounds a little bit more strange. Maybe you should go a little bit slower. Maybe I can try and teach you. I know how to mimic voices quite well.
Perhaps we shall try. But I think for now we should try and get into the city.
Sure. Oh, probably not a good look for a party to be with a hag, so give me a moment and you hear the crackling of bones. I will use my human martyr form, which you'll know from, well, when you first met her. So it basically humanifies? Yeah.
Yes.
Humifies
Humanoidifies. Yes.
So the teeth are gone, the odd proportions of the face are gone. So she's basically this blonde college girl, a bit short, with heterochromic eyes, with one is green and the other is blue.
Nice.
Very nice.
She sounds very pretty.
Arius removes some dirt from his face.
Actually, another thing, when you met this persona at the first time, she was very gaunt, very malnourished, and now there is a new fullness to her face, as she looks like someone who eats.
But that's also slowly been changing, you know. It's been a harsh life on the road, but even so, things have been better for Amadia.
It's been a rough life. Not just on the road, at home was bad as well.
Touche. Okay, so as you fix yourself before entering,
I'll also spray myself with some of that perfume. So it's nice and high hell.
minty tart. Yeah. Nice. Okay, so you ignore the very unhappy and suspicious looking, kind of starving faces that stare at you from behind corners, in windowsills, creaks of doors.
I think the thing next to be looking out for as we enter through is like what has changed since what he knew. Like he spent a lot of time in Barovia village, of course. So, especially with the burning down of the tavern, and what we witnessed in Vallaki, the change after we left and came back after a change of management. What stands out from what could potentially be like a headquarters for like Strahd's cronies and such.
Fair. Okay, you keep an eye out for that as you pass through kind of the center of Meltdown, and like it's not large. It's just basically this intersection of the river and the bridge. It's like not several houses deep, perhaps 2 at most, and everything like clings either to the riverbank or to the side of the road on both sides of the bridge. And as you begin walking up on and passing this low and long stone bridge, there's a sound, Nyx, that you didn't expect to hear. There's a faint but unmistakable creaking of wood and sloshing of water. One of these water mills are operating. And for as long as you remember, walking through Milltown has always been a very sad affair of absolutely no interest and just like the worst wretched kind of Barovians just slowly dying out. And you pass by this place very quickly as a Vistana.
Nice. It's in effect. Okay, so it's doing something. Is there a smell in the air?
Oh, interesting. Make me a perception intelligence for that.
Yeah, one sec.
Do your smarts. Got a big brain in that
Come
thick
on,
skull.
big brain time.
Big
Yeah.
brain.
Big
biggest
brain
of
and thick
brain.
skull.
19.
19.
Must be why he gives such good hit.
There are like smells from the river. The source of the sound seems to be coming a little bit to the northeast, like past the bridge, on the northern side. Like up there, you think you can see some movement in the mist, and like a disturbance of the water, and there's certainly like a mull, you know, of like riverbank that hasn't been moved for a while, being like dispersed into the water. There's some insects even on the water. There's a very faint kind of cardboard smell in the air.
Coming from the windmill? Or the watermill?
Yeah, coming in from that direction.
Nick squints his eyes and like casually says a word, almost in thought. Paper? What? Why paper?
Is everything okay?
I just noticed that the watermill seems to be functioning, and if it's functioning, it's producing something. And if it's producing something, what the shit is it? And I caught a whiff of this cardboardy, like paperish smell. Do you not smell it?
I'll take a sniff.
I would have.
It takes a while for you other guys, but when Nyx pointed out, you also get a whiff of it.
I would have thought a windmill would be used for grinding grain.
Which is why I'm a little confused.
Where would they? That's strange.
Should we have a look, or
If we can poke our heads in, why not? Last time we encountered any sort of manufacturing apparatus, it was a windmill grinding bones of children. So,
When did that happen?
curious.
the what?
My
You see
curiosity is
horrified.
I see Hamadia doing the dog, like the dog with nosy fucked up eyes.
Mm.
So you remember my family, the one we killed?
Very well, yes.
So they had a little bit of a side gig. They used special ingredients to make pies that, well, there were bones.
If I could throw up, I would be. I am even happier that we laid them to rest then.
Yeah, it was sort of fun hearing about it. Cyril had some pie. It was my nightmares.
That is despicable.
Indeed, so calling me interested that I am dubious about any sort of manufacturing process here in Barovia that isn't wine.
Let us examine then.
Good. We go.
Okay. Do I have any meal knowledge considering my involvement?
Let's actually increase the stakes a bit. Mill knowledge.
Manufacturing knowledge?
Bread making.
It's a wheel, it goes round by some kind of external force through various gears and cogs that are actually pretty cleverly like attached. There's usually some kind of grinding wheel that grinds some kind of substance down into smaller particles. Ta-da! I mean, what kind of
Jazz
information are
hand.
you looking for? When it comes
I
to
didn't-
this.
Oh yeah, maybe we'll move that first.
Okay.
Like the specific mechanics of certain productions, or I don't know.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so you clear the bridge and end up on the eastern bank. You're definitely on Barovia village, kind of greater area territory at this point. And as you steer onto the smaller kind of footpaths that go in between the houses, the Barovians kind of scatter. If there is somebody in a window or a door, and you walk past, they kind of fling themselves to another room. You hear several doors kind of slam and lock. As you walk on past, they keep at least a 15-meter distance to you, if not more, and it's sometimes you like in the mist you swear that there might be like human face staring at you behind a corner, but it's hard to tell because it's very wind still right now, and so the mists are quite thick, and there's just this eerie silence that continue to follow you like a blanket. It's not far at all, just a stone toss away. And there's this little like foresty kind of path that leads up to it's almost like a little hill, like it sits on the bedrock itself to find like good purchase with the water wheel into the river where it can be supported and not just fall into the mud, the house. So there's a bit of a winding circle to get actually to the point of entry. And far before the stone structure, a good 20 to 25 meters onto this circular path, you come upon a parked, unroofed wagon of a sturdier but simpler kind, two seated in the front, just parked like half on the road and half off, in like half leaning into a ditch, and tied to a tree pretty close by to that is a sturdy looking pony.
Is this something we've seen before?
I mean, it's not outside the realm of any kind of possibility, but ponies and wagons and things that work are, more expensive among the Barovians in general, especially in comparison to the Bristani. Remember Cantemire's. Oh my god, it's gonna be hard to not say it. Cantemire. Remember Cantemire's bargaining.
Yeah. That's what I was referring to.
Yeah. So having this means like an upper status among Barovians, which is a very sad tier system, if this is the height. Welcome, Alex.
All right.
Okay, you walk on past that, and you see before you a stone structure that certainly have weathered the tooth of time pretty well, considering everything. Mostly because it's completely made out of stone, but vines have eaten through the mortar at several places, and it looks like, given enough time, it can crumble, perhaps in a decade or two. Let's actually, it's a very like early evening at this point, but there's still light out.
Okay.
Are we supposed to be able to see inside?
No.
We can.
Can you?
We can.
Yeah.
Oh. Wow, that's
Can we
weird.
put the walls in?
Yes, the walls are
I
certainly
see
there.
like vague bits of walls, but
Oh, I
like
can't see shit.
Huh. What?
Did
That
you
is
give
weird.
us visibility?
I think
of
I
the
can
tokens?
choose. I can click on the tokens inside.
Yeah, you've given us ownership
Yeah.
of those
Oh,
tokens.
well,
Only the
whatever,
3 in the main
whatever.
thing. If there's any others.
That's so weird. Because everything is as it should be. That's strange. What?
But if you click and edit it, you can see who owns it.
The tokens?
Owned and controlled by, the token. So if you like alt click it or alt double click it, you'll open up
Yeah.
its character sheet. You press edit, and then you can see
Oh, yeah.
has access to it.
Yeah. Okay. That is true.
all players.
Oh, and
so.
then you get their vision.
And then-
Well, guys, it's a windmill at the head of this. I wonder what's inside.
It could be anything.
What do you mean? I didn't see anything, sir.
No, we have no idea what's in there.
It's
It
okay,
might there
it's-
might not be
this-
people in there.
The stakes
fact, I'm legally
aren't
black.
high. The stakes aren't high, okay?
I know.
It could be an ambush.
The stakes aren't high.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
We venture closer, and I guess if there's no one else,
Wait,
about,
I can see again.
Oh, yeah. What the fuck?
What? See
Enter.
again? What does
Yeah.
that mean?
Yep.
You took away our vision, and now it's back.
Well,
Of like the inside.
the tokens get like
That's-
re-updated.
I hope not. It's there. Shit, it's here.
Alt double click on the token. Oh, there. Yeah, control
I
by-
see all.
Wait, you can also do the control by Bexxy.
Technical difficulties.
There we go.
Thank you.
There we go.
I can't see
there's-
anything.
Dude.
There we go.
I still can't see anything though.
Like at all?
At all. I only see gray.
Oh my god.
See like a gray
Gray?
gradient.
Oh, that's because the image isn't loaded for you properly. So I would refresh your browser.
Yeah.
Ah, okay. Go.
That ain't my fault.
It's your fault.
Yeah, no. The wheel kind of turns.
I'm good now.
In the water, there is a very threadbare and filled of holes, small boat parked to the wharf and down there, and a simple stone door ahead.
Should we knock?
I'm not sure it's necessary to knock on some sort of public building. It's not like it's a home. Besides, it's in operation, so who's going to hear us knocking unless we literally break down the door?
I think I can probably find an opening and look for myself before we enter. Are you think so, of course?
Are you expecting enemies here, Hematir?
Not exactly, just security.
I think we're okay.
Might it be better to meet them head on than skirt around and seem more suspicious?
Okay.
Nyx walks forward and, not necessarily expecting anything malicious, simply opens the door.
Yes, indeed.
Not weird at all to just waltz in.
Well, hi, how?
Yeah.
Howdy how. Yeah, the
It's like
door.
a tavern.
The door is unlocked, so it's easy to push past. It's like the door is wooden, so it's kind of like half hanging on like just one hinge, and broken in a few places. Not enough for you to see through, but it certainly needs to be replaced. Inside, of course, what dominates the largest area is the mill apparatus itself, which is currently in use. The back seems to be like an area that is partitioned off by rotting wooden walls with two doors set into it. To your left, there seems to be like an upper loft kind of area, but also made out of wood. It is broken down in several places, and a lot of the rotting hay that is up there that gives off a very stale, citrusy, and indeed cardboardy kind of smell have fallen down through the half ceiling there onto the ground, creating just a mountain of debris underneath the loft that kind of blocks off that whole area. And inside there is three what you definitely clock and assume to be Barovians. There is an old woman, crooked looking, in her 60s, with a stringy white hair in different lengths, very like filled of sweat and dirt, and she is sitting on the shower in front of the cooking station, and she's idly stirring whatever stew that is simmering inside. There's a younger woman with a buzz cut of brown hair standing by the wheel apparatus with a shovel in her hands and a barrel to the side that seems to be filled with grains. And she feeds the grains into the spinning wheel that slowly crushes it, and then a filter filters the flour into a barrel on the other side of the mechanism. And there's a third person, a sand blonde man in his 40s, in equally like wild beard as his curly hair, and he seems to be transferring ready-made flour into cloth sacks from barrels from the apparatus itself. They don't look up, really. There's like a glance, and then they look down again, and they just continue performing whatever tasks they have, rather robotically.
They look like harvestonics, right?
Make me a empathy composure.
I mean, he's been around them majority of his life, so.
Mm-hmm.
Empathy composer.
Did you roll the 19, or is that an old one?
That's the old one. This
24! Damn, boy!
Oh yeah.
Hey, yeah, boy. Boy.
Yeah, boy.
Yes, indeed, it's indicative of a Holliver kind of state of being, but there's still something unsettling here because most of the Barovians, well, you're not entirely sure, but you certainly assume for that you pass through the town. They were extremely scared of you because they have no point of security, right? They are emotionless, which is certainly a Halber trait, but they're not completely without emotion. And what is a strong guiding star is fear and anger for Halbers, because those are strong emotions. They do not fear.
Nix looks around to see if they're just doing their jobs. He looks back to Jivkos right behind him and says, "We're not going to get much out of these guys. I don't know, Jivkos, in your time, was there such a thing as halvers? People who have... I don't know. It's like half of them is missing. Their drive, their will, their humanity."
No, but that sounds horrific.
It's almost like they are like drones. They just do the work without thinking. They obviously will attack if told to, but ultimately do not hold the drive or personal headspace to make decisions of their own, really.
They have lost their volition.
Like a shadow of their own selves.
Why are they like this?
That's a long story, but let me summarize it by just one word. And like Nix channels that alien sky meme, and he's just like, Strat.
This does nothing but piss him off, obviously. Not against you, but yeah. Of course he would think to do such a thing. Another addition to the long list. What shall we do?
Well, it seems to be, as he's closer now, does it look like they're making some sort of shitty beer?
Oh, well, there aren't like any vats here where, you know, and they're not spreading it out on the floor for, you know, hops to mature either. And there's not really any barrels for the maturing process either. At least this operation, for now, I mean, who knows? There just seems to be these sacks, the grain, the flour substance, and the crushing.
Okay, Nix will like look over Jacob's shoulders and just turn around and go snooping. He's gonna do a snoop.
Do a snoop.
See what's going on.
All right.
Mattia will say, is there no way that we can help them snap them back? What's the due process? What?
Is this something I may cure?
It's not something like a curse or like an affliction or a disease. This is just who they are.
I see. I'm going to go and guard outside. You have fun here.
I shall stay and accompany you, Nix.
Mother will storm outside. And she seems a lot on edge.
Lady Illyria,
Yes.
do you wish to stand guard or accompany us in snooping?
You think you need some help snooping? You're gonna be alright out here? Or is Mardia staying outside, or
She is.
what about Iris?
I think my expertise is most needed in this halver phenomenon. I did encounter it in the village, and a young Ismark told me about it in a tavern.
I think I'm better at guarding than I am at snooping, so she just kind of like motions with her head to the door for Iris to head in.
That's quite right. I've seen you in combat, and you're clearly terrifying, my dear. It's impressive.
So many words.
What do you think? I mean, we said Strahd, but do we know what lies behind it? The mechanism? It's quite sad.
Honestly, Iris, I've never really, up until now, and under the circumstances of how we have basically lived for the past few weeks, never really thought about it. You know, in the Vistani camps, you just know of them, and they are solid workers, and they used to work in the tavern where my cousins owned. And
Oh yes, the barkeep. I do remember.
yeah, exactly. So it's never been something that I've even thought about questioning. It was just is. So sorry, I never really took an interest in them. I had other thoughts, and Nix does a big think about like whether or not any sort of information would have come his way.
You were pals, good pals with Madame Eva. Make me an intelligence occult. See if we can fish any
He's slightly getting
knowledge.
better at those.
Fish any knowledge from your brain. 10.
Average 10.
Who cares about the Barbovians?
I mean, yeah. Just like Nick said.
I mean, you didn't really listen when she talked about them. Why would you?
Nick stops scratching his chin and shrugs and says, "Nope. Maybe this is something you wish to investigate, Irias."
I shall keep mental tabs and write furiously in my diary.
Sure.
Okay. You do a Snoopy Snoop.
We snoop.
One can assist, the other will roll a perception intelligence. Unless you want to look out for some kind of specific topic, then you may.
Well, Nyx is looking more for like, okay, Havas themselves are worker drones. Nyx wouldn't know this, but Nyx is gonna actually actively look for like things in like drawers, in chests, in cupboards for paperwork or some sort of sign of who owns this sort of establishment, or signs of if there's some sort of owner, because the last thing he wants to do is burn down another thing and have another friend burn because of it.
Jivkos is just sort of going to assist Nyx, as he doesn't know what best way to go about this.
Sure. Sure. But that's still perception intelligence.
Even if I'm investigating?
You do take your time investigating. You know what? Yes, investigation can do that. Yes, you're right.
It's like I'm not doing
more
like
than a
a
glance. This is
generic look around.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
looking
yeah,
for
yeah.
something. Yeah,
You're tossing and turning.
Looking
Tossing the factory. They're tossing the cells.
They're tossing them.
It's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Well, it's pretty easy to tell as you go through the space that kind of to the side of the guy that continues to shovel flour into the ready-made sacks, that there is a crude looking parchment to the side of him where he just have like a piece of coal, and there's a very rudimentary kind of diagram there of, and some stark handwriting basically saying you were given X amount of grain, I want X amount of sacks of flour. And there's this little check mark grid where the guy checks off each flour sack that he creates.
Let's remember your quota. Okay. So don't find any actually I'm gonna kind of see if I can swipe that for a handwriting comparison maybe later.
Gonna fuck up this guy's working.
Wait a second.
Give me an athletics dexterity.
Ooh.
Nick said.
yeah.
Hello, look at me. I'm not doing anything. Just whistling.
Yeah, 22.
Damn. Yeah, no, that's a fail. From my end, so you take it. You're standing over here for this. Jacobs, you may place yourself wherever you want in the room.
Just sort of in between the two of them.
The guy kind of drops this spade-looking thing that he has in his hands after not being able to catch your hand, and kind of looks up to you. A little bit of drool comes down his chin. Give.
With easily failed.
Yeah,
I think
he
he
failed to
grab
catch
it.
you in time, but he's stopping his motions, and he's turned around. He's dropped the tool he had in his hand and is facing you and is telling you to give it back.
Give what back?
He is going to try and reach for it and take it back.
Oh dang! He sees that I have it. Right.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean this? Sorry, I was just taking a look. No problems. I'll put it back. Don't worry.
Behind you, the old woman has stood up and is just staring at you on the other side.
I put it back.
You know what? Make me a quick medicine intelligence.
What the hell?
As you're kind of sandwiched by these two.
Jivkos is just kind of staring at the old woman warily.
6.
6. Okay. Don't worry about it. You put down the paper. He leans down grabs it, brings it very close to his face to see it's actually what he needs, and then puts it back on the floor, and the old woman sits down and continues to stir.
We have this.
Halvers, as you say, they're strangely aggressive.
Perhaps it is best if we do not disturb them.
Well, it's not my intention to really disturb them or like make them aggressive. It's just something's not right. Something doesn't feel right. And we're talking about the place where I spent a lot of time, right? It's not necessarily my hometown, but I spent a lot of time here because, like, who wants to hang around with a bunch of freaking lame Bastani, right? But something doesn't add up here. Harvests don't just become aggressive. They do what they are told to do, nothing more, nothing less. Something is strange.
I am not somebody to talk on this, but there are still rooms to explore, are there not? And I'll point a clawed finger towards the 2 doors.
Right. Let's go snooping.
Just follow Nix.
All right, the closest doors to you, easy to open. It's more of a farmhouse kind of situation where you don't open the door. It's more like in hinges and you push it to the side. And it reveals a couple of crates. 3 of them look like they belong together, and they're kind of like rotting and like half destroyed in the corner. One of them seems newer and not the same make.
I take note of the newer one and snoop the newer one. First,
Okay.
checking that there's nothing fancy or like suspicious about it, trap-wise.
Do you want to do a perception?
I
to
check
see?
for suspicious things. Yes.
A long check that you take your time. Investigation cutting. Yes.
15.
15. This mundane crate does not seem to be trapped.
Okay. Right. Nix continues to snoop. Snoop, 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 snoop.
You open the lid and you see 4 corn on the cob and 3 potatoes.
Hungry, Jivkas?
No. And I think we should not steal while we are here.
I had no intention of pocketing corn on the cob or potatoes. I'm better than that.
You just give yourself a
Maybe.
really. Just like his eyes like narrow in his like living state, and he's just like. It's a lot more expressive than he usually is as well.
An interesting point, though. Corn hasn't really been maize hasn't really been a normal food source for Barovians to grow.
So,
I mean, it's
Nix
not
will-
out there, but it's not impossible. But
It usually requires a lot of sun.
it's not the most normal source of food in Barovia, for sure not. And it's golden. It's a little bit. The leaves are like frayed at the end. Yellowed and kind of like shriveled. The mace itself might not be the largest there is, but they're yellow. They're plump.
The hell is going? I mean, Barovia isn't exactly the most ripe of produce. Last time we saw anything that related to that was when we were back in time in the Vidutov manor. Nick scratches his side of his head with the actual corner of the cob. It's like he's thinking.
That does not seem like a sanitary thing to do.
Nix looks at Jivkos and throws it back in the crate and says, I have no idea what's going on here, but I don't like it. Something shady is going down, and I will seek to get to the bottom of it.
I
Okay.
cannot say.
We go.
Do the second one, or fuck this?
Yeah, we poke our
I'm out.
noses in there, see if there's like anything worthwhile for sure, but Nix is getting the heebie-jeebies.
Inside there are 3 barrels filled with grain.
Fresh grain?
Yeah. It does not have a smell. The smell seems to be coming from like the disturbed air in here and like the rotting hay up there on the loft. But the grain itself has no smell, and it is of rye. And it's 3 full barrels of it.
Where would they have gotten?
It's winter, by the way.
Yeah,
Is it not
Nix has a
stored?
big. Sorry?
Is it not stored grain? I can stay good for a while.
Doesn't that feel correct? Now I'm starting to worry. Like maybe they found or they took the barrel out from Kresk that we gave to the Kresians that could basically produce any kind of food. The worst kind of possible option here is that they're getting this from outside the mist, so it's being brought in. That could mean other people are here from the Protectorate.
That
Nix
is-
looks serious.
It would complicate matters, but I'm beginning to question a little bit of my noble brethren's actions. Thinking back. But they are formidable.
Maybe we should speak to Illyria. If there's anything that she can remember about some form of trade deal. I mean, ultimately, this whole journey started with me leaving the mist to invite some from the Protectorate in for the sake of ambassadorship, to strike up some sort of relations with Strahd. And if they have done that with someone else, I don't know. But I don't know
do
what the.
hope not.
Oh, me too.
You must have gone very fast, because considering the timeline of what you've been telling me, I mean, it's a bit more than a month of a travel time in between Kanbadar and Barovia. But, you know, 4 weeks travel to the shore of Khan, and then 2 weeks of journey of boat, and then from Savoie up here, it's about another week.
So it is not possible then, really.
And
I mean,
somebody's
it
been
is.
working in secret, and something has been going on these 4 years since I've been gone. That's a lady of the Feathermore house wouldn't know of.
Let us ask and
There's nothing
also
we can do
inquire
here anyway.
inside. Yes.
Alright. Nix will, on leaving, take another look at the handwriting on that piece of paper, open up this book, and just try and copy the handwriting a little bit in his book to see if whether or not it be served as a memory jogger.
Gotcha. Definitely doable. Just take 2 minutes to try to be as thorough as possible, and then you join the others.
we arrive outside where the others are waiting.
We were not able to find much, but it seems they have some way of attaining grain, and they should not.
Fresh crops in Barovia in winter. It's very suspicious.
What were your theories again, Nix?
One, they could have acquired the barrel that we donated to Kresk, and they're now using that to produce food for whoever now is here. Or a trade from outside the mist is being brought in. Or something else that I'm not thinking of, but those are my two other theories right now. But
I don't think we'll get anything else here. Might be inside the town.
indeed, I think the bottom line here is Barovia village is not a place that we should be off our guard. Something is not right here.
I mean, except the people with no free will who are basically mindless.
Well, technically that's normal.
That's normal?
I mean, as far as I've been alive.
Hamatia. You make me an empathy composure, considering your background.
Free composure. Check. Looking. Level 9 character shit.
Heck
Yeah.
yes!
It's so fun being level 9.
Fishes in bonus. 4 baby.
Just everything's better.
8.
8. Sadly, Morgantha perhaps didn't allow you to get too close to the Barovians. So.
I don't see how this is normal. Are you serious?
I mean, normal, for the sake of saying normal, is more from a perspective of usual.
I would hope that it was not, but
Hamatia looks mortified. Then this deeply disturbed. You're saying that these things are in Barovia all around and start just... How do they get picked? What was their crime? Why are they like this? What did we do to deserve this sort of fate?
Next one to any sort of thinking. Well, I mean, he's already done the thinking. He's like, look,
will
I would love to.
allow Nix to make an occult intelligence, and you may guide yourself here in this moment. I will allow you to do another big thing. The DD is high.
21.
Oh, that's a high...
Is that high enough?
Yeah.
A guided think.
Not really.
Oh, shit.
Jesus Christ.
Oh no.
I'm trying to think of a connection or a clue I must give you with a 21. Certainly a good roll, but clarity required higher. But perhaps I can do like unmuddle the waters a bit.
Just gonna quickly open my notes from way back when. See if there's anything in there that Nix might remember.
Have you fought Barovians in the past?
Fought with?
in the rebellion, for sure.
Yeah.
You took souls back then, right?
I
for
already know that they're
Barovians.
like half souls. Like
Mm-hmm.
they they're
Yeah.
half of a person
Yes,
because
they're
there's like
halvers
half of the
because
drive.
that. Yeah, that becomes obvious.
But from a perspective of how they're made, like how
Yeah.
havers come to be, like is there a ritual? Is there like something that has happened to them, or is this something that this is how they come into the world? Nix doesn't know the difference.
See your mommy and daddy.
Marty, I will actually. This
When
is
half a mummy and half a
this
daddy.
is actually this is connection that you actually had, because it happened to you. Because you also have like a rank 2 occult, right?
Yeah.
I will allow you to do make a roll.
Oh wait, I have only rank 1 in the cult.
Nice.
Only have one rank in the
Oh,
cult.
you only have one rank. Well, it's gonna be
Yeah.
a really hard roll, but you may attempt to.
Okay, so I got
In
intelligence.
cult intelligence.
Nope.
Nope. Okay. Don't worry about it.
Well, I don't know much more information about it. As far as I'm concerned, Havas have always been around since I've been alive, and to me, it just feels normal that they're here. When we fought them in the rebellion, we knew that at that point, their soul is basically half a soul. They are half a person. How they got that way, I've never bothered to find out.
Wow. Do you know if suffering, if there's something still in there?
I mean, they don't have any spark. They don't cry. They don't have any charm. They don't have lust or desire or hope, probably. They just exist.
It's despicable.
If something like this ever happens to me, just kill me.
It will not be let come to that. Do not worry.
That's. I thought I've seen everything, but this goes beyond physical violence. This is just.
It puts in a stark perspective of actually the gravity of what's going on here. There's some very potent magic.
If we ever find the creator, we know what to do.
It's like blasphemous to the very tenets of the gods, and it doesn't matter which one is. It's all a sacrament. To be born with half of one is.
Well, I mean, from that perspective, if they are born and not made, they won't know any different. They would never have really suffered. They wouldn't have like loved before and therefore are unable to. It's like manufacturing bread or beer.
I would not put such objectification to something that still lives and breathes.
Fair, but without a mind.
I'm not so sure about the suffering part. I mean, I've seen a lot of suffering.
Well, who can say what exactly goes on inside the mind of a halver's brain?
So, give me a quick countdown of over because it seems that I am not accustomed to, well, the culture here.
Neither. It has changed.
Well, okay, I'll tell you as much as I know. Barovia village is about 500 people strong. Last I was here. Now that might have changed. The biggest part of Barovia village is the fact that its surrounding lands is somewhat fertile. despite the lack of sunlight, there is some form of agriculture, at least here. There used to be a tavern here that was like the central attraction, but that burned down, like I mentioned. Wine is a big thing around here, as is for the rest of Barovia, but it's kind of, this is the place where it's mostly created. It's not much more around Barovia village at this point, other than the fact that the people are heavily devout. They follow the Burgomaster's instructions. The Burgomaster's home is up the hill next to the graveyard. Near the graveyard, there's a church, and Illyria's been here before.
Yeah. In fact, Jules, would you make an intelligence check with Illyria?
That is bullying. So I have not started up Roll20 since my browser crashed earlier. I'm sorry, give me a moment.
What is your modifier?
No, I can just start it back up again. I just did because I'm an idiot. So
Okay.
just give me one moment.
Also, Nix
What?
and Martia, you can also make me an intelligence check, but for something else.
Damn, excluding Jivkos, how dare you?
Just a
And
raw
Arius.
intelligence.
And
Yeah,
Arius.
you just roll intelligence, but it's going to be a very easy thing. Whoa! Okay.
Jesus.
Oh, okay.
Yummy.
I'll take it.
It's
Illyria has activated the one brain cell that doesn't crave violence.
Indeed. Since this was a couple of, like a year ago in real life, Marty and Nix, you do remember from the dinner that you have with the Martikov family and in the vineyard after they reclaimed the vineyard, and Mariella came flying, and she saw some stuff in the village of Barovia, which was that things were growing exponentially, like the agriculture was booming in Barovia, in the Barovia village.
Right.
And
I remember now.
Illyria, you
It's
do
clicking
remember
now.
from the ball, where you overheard a conversation between Strahd and Cantemir. Fuck, every time. It's so funny to say! Cantemir, you overheard a conversation between Strahd and Cantemir that Cantemir was like talking about production issues, and Strahd demanded that he started producing wine.
Might this
Cantemir.
be-
Both of you, like, get like both ones.
Might this be the work of the stone?
It's likely. I mean, there was also Strahd and Cantemir talked about growing wine here.
Right, but how would they do that? I mean,
With the
Barovia
stone that
has
they
a-
stole.
right. So
How did the Martikovs grow wine?
well, I mean, probably with a stone, I suppose.
And we
So-
know that Cantemir has it.
So we need to get Cantemir then.
It is impertinent we seek him out.
Indeed.
Am I allowed to hurt him?
Oh, if you don't hurt him, I certainly will.
Good.
Let us please.
There's a
not
lot of
kill
people
him
we want to hurt in this
first.
village.
Do they want to hurt you?
I mean, yes.
Then I shall keep an eye out for them.
Last time I
Yes.
was here, it was him, Cantemir, that chose to, on his own behalf, exile me and my kind from the village of Barovia.
Well, let us
He
see how it
also
goes.
works for Strahd.
Works Strad, and likely we may have heard that he is like being a guardian for Victor. You know,
Another
the kid that.
despicable one, yes.
So they're all bad here, Jeff. Cause swing away. Gesturing at his mole.
Well, you know, a lot of the just regular villages probably aren't all.
I will be careful.
Let's see if we
Okay,
can track him
so
down.
and what about these people? Do we just let them be these
There's
husks?
nothing.
Nothing.
There's nothing we can do.
There must be something.
I think that is for us to find out, but acting hastily on it may cause them harm. And that is not something we wish.
I think the solution to that question, or at least the only solution we have to that question about the is far too morbid.
We are not doing that.
Let them be for now.
I see.
They're not harming anyone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fine.
I am now eager to see the village of Barovia again. We have some distance to travel before it gets too dark and too late.
Yeah.
Let us then.
We can get there tonight if we hurry.
Let's hurry.
All right. You leave them be. And during this whole time, even if you can't see them anymore and shouldn't have seen them to begin with, they continue their work in peace and quiet. And Boreas know for how long. At least some production, something positive is happening, even though in this meltdown, even though by the hands of these hallowed souls. Over the course of another 2 hours of stubborn marching, further into the fertile bowl of Eastern Barovia, the thin clusters of trees gets replaced more and more by natural meadows or overgrown and abandoned fields as sunset is upon you. And just as twilight becomes the dark of the night, you come upon an organic wall on both sides of the road. On your left, neat rows of maturing corn softly rustle in the breeze. And on your right, heads of potatoes reaches for the sky in neat geometric grid patterns. The plants are somewhat yellow, the leaves a bit shriveled, and the fruit of their labor not the largest. But even so, it's an incredible feat of fertility that you can't believe that you haven't seen anywhere else in the sunless Barovia. Well, except for the vineyard.
Nix, at least will, on occasion, inspect everything if it's like illusionary. He thinks everything's sus.
Sure. You go up and like prod it, like poke it.
Like I squeeze the fruits.
Sure. Do you use all your senses?
Yeah, of course. Would I shut one off?
Everything.
I mean, do you smell? Do you taste?
I mean, I guess he would taste like give it a lick or whatever, just see if it's like sour or whatever. Like because he did
Tastes like
this
rainbow.
when he's got like some flashbacks to the death house when there were some items in there that looked very nice and lush, but then on tasting was very stale.
Huh. Interesting. Okay. Okay. Give me a perception intelligence. Do you give the potato leaves a lick or the corn cobs?
I mean, I'm like inspecting. I'm not like having a buffet.
No. Okay.
So it's more like, yeah, I'm not gonna bite into it so much as like taste or test it.
Like just lick it.
Yeah, just like a small lick.
Like a small lick. 21. It doesn't taste of anything. I mean, it's the outside of a plant. So, I mean...
But does it like
shouldn't
have
taste-
moisture in it? You know, when you like compared to
it
like a
gives you-
plastic or an illusion,
gives you
like
the
there should be
right
some sort of
texture.
moisture.
It gives you the right texture all the time, for sure.
So I could ascertain it's real.
Yes, it's not an illusion, and it doesn't like taste like it's rotten either, or like another shape than it pretends to be. But being so up close to it, and taking a moment or two to like inspect it, you're sure the plant that you're just at grew a centimeter.
It is an absolute travesty that they hold on to this power and not free Barovia from its crippling grip. Everyone could be eating for free. Starvation would be a thing of the past. Wine could flow, and yet they keep it for themselves.
Perhaps freeing Barovia entices taking this away from them. And tails. My apologies. Not my first language.
It's Sylvan.
One thing's for sure, guys. In comparison to how things were back in Serpul, when we saw what's his name? Aragal holding that vestige above his head like he owned the place, and for us to let him have it, I do not think we can let anyone keep this power. We must take it whilst we are here.
Yeah, well. I think
Irias nods and gives thumbs up. Finger guns.
I'm glad we can all agree.
We shall not let it slip out of our grasp.
Alright. Pushing ahead another 30 meters or so. You're about, at this point, less than an hour away from the edge of the village. And there's no perception check needed, but you notice at different speeds the sound of scraping, rustling, and welting somewhere off a bit to the southeast of you. And you clear a slight bend in the road, and a particular thick and tall patch of corn ends to reveal a barren field before you. And for those of you with dark vision, the source of the sound is easily spotted. Two shapes, humanoids, Barovians, you easily clock, are out there in the darkness, pushing a wooden plow. It is a bit odd. Whilst it is certainly plausible for two well-built Barovians to have the strength to do some plowing on their own, the amount of distance they have already covered, the speed they're doing it at, and considering how much is left of the field, and there's like no sign of like slowing down for at least now that you see, and the jarring fact that it is nightfall and they're far outside the village, just the two of them. And once again,
We can ascertain that it's harvest.
they glance up. There's not much in their eyes, and they just casually acknowledge your presence, and they keep on plowing.
I relay that there's more harvest to anyone who doesn't have dark vision. So, is that just Hamati and Jivkos, I suppose?
Jivkos has it.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
it's
So
Hamati.
just me.
You're so blind. Aw. It seems like they're working the harvest night and day.
They're basically efficient workers. Do we need to eat, sleep, are they doing the same, or?
Yeah, they're still, organic.
Are they mortal?
They're still mortal. They just don't have any will.
I see. Shouldn't dwell on it too long. After all, this is just regular things happening in Barovia, right?
Look, I'm not agreeing with you that it's a good thing to have these half-sentient creatures working their hands to the bone without a break because they can't choose to have a break. But it's not a fight that we can fight right now.
No, I didn't mean it in a confrontational manner. I just trying to process this information.
Fair.
It's quite eloquent.
It is nowhere near pleasant, sir. It is understandable.
Yes, Nix has a strange look on his face as he's looking to Hamatia and to Jivkos, who are witnessing this for the first time. Maybe even Illyria's still, she's aware of it, but I never really thought about it. For Nix being so used to it, he's like looking at them kind of strangely, but then also it's like somewhat introspective. But has his whole life been that of taking these
Maybe
guys for
I'm the
granted?
problem.
Yeah, am I the toxic one here?
When you really guys not used to half people?
Should I not? Should I have like at least complained as a child? Like,
Looking between the undead minotaur and the tortured, haggling child.
yeah,
Wait a moment.
it takes them to tell Nix that he's the bad guy.
You don't like the feeling.
No, I was always feeling like a slave. I always felt like I am the most miserable person in Barovia. Now I see how lucky I was. Just gives you perspective on matters.
There's always a shittier field.
But just because someone's problem is worse than yours does not make yours any less of a problem.
Not many that way. I just couldn't imagine fate more cool. I didn't think. I wasn't aware the total lengths of this. I want to puke. I feel like I want to shove it back into the person who did this. I want to shove it directly to his throat. I want to silence him forever.
Once we find out who, I would be glad to do the same.
Okay. With those thoughts and comments, you leave the two Barovians still, through sheer body strength, continue their work and continue this eternal journey. You push through the home stretch. On your way, you pass by this mosaic of agricultural fields dedicated to various hardy vegetables and cereals. They vary in size and shape, but from what you saw last time you passed through here, they all have in common a ludicrously fast growing spurt, all of these fields. Here and there, you hear rustling through the fields, and you sometimes spot a lone Barovian or a small group of them carrying, plowing, or harvesting from the fields that border the road here. Once again, they just coolly, casually acknowledge your passing, but doesn't react further than that, and they show no signs of discontent nor exhaustion. Furthermore, you pass or overtake traffic on the Swallows Road itself. Wagons, wheelbarrows, or simple baskets are being ferried by stone-faced Barovians, and here and there they depart from the main road or join the main road through small footpaths that snake in between the fields to wherever they have to go. And it's like 8, 9 in the evening at this point.
You see the lights of Barovia somewhere.
It's still
on the
like a couple of
horizon.
bends away, but during the course of like closing in on that hour, this is what you experience.
Nix will know this road very well.
Yes,
Things-
of course.
We push on.
Strange amount of traffic these days.
Might actually be better if we arrive in Barovia under the cover of night, so people don't actually see us.
Very much so.
And passing through another bend, going up another gentle hill. That hour ends. It's closer to 10 in the evening by now. And there in the faint distance, you see the lights of Barovia village. And there, we're going to end tonight's episode of Charismatic Canine.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Wow, that's fucked. Holy shit.
Awful. Awful.
Oh,
There's an awful lot of mindfuckery in this place, eh?
Yeah. I just feel like the
hard.
thinking of them doing this mindless work in the middle, just put a very dark mirror in front of them out here.
You got the Harvers, you got the Revenants, and the Chaos. You got a few of them.
I might say a black mirror.
Wow.
Wowie!
Black Mirror, you said.
Yeah. My God, that's good shit. Good shit.
Oh, I have to agree.
Um,
Sorry, I just enjoyed that.
some puzzle pieces have fallen into place. A bit of a spooky feeling has been achieved. Despite it being like info that like you're slowly like getting together and you understand a lot of what's going on, it's like experiencing it is another thing for sure. Pretty fucked up. Still, there seems to be perhaps something else, some details that are not yet illuminated for our party that I am, for one, excited to find out next time. But those are, thank you, K9, and of course Hamo, and also Alex for stopping on by, and Emil for
Out of the
giving me
Salone crew.
pride. Yes, indeed. I figured. Thank you guys for being here and enjoying this time with us. Well, then, I guess, stay cool, stay frosty, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye, good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.